It is not yet dawn, and a man named Kenji is already awake, tying a twisted cotton headband above his eyes. He is 34, an office worker who spends most of the year behind a desk. But today he will do something his grandfather did, and his great-grandfather before that. He will put his shoulder under a god. To the tourists lining the street with their phones, what happens next will look like a party. Drums, shouting, sweat, a portable shrine rocking wildly through the crowd. It is not a party. And to understand why, you have to know what is riding on Kenji's shoulders. The word is Matsuri. Most visitors translate it as festival and picture food stalls, fireworks, and games, and those are certainly there, ringing the edges of the day. But the word itself points somewhere deeper. Matsuri comes from matsuru, an old verb meaning to enshrine, to serve, to wait upon a deity. A matsuri, at its core, is not an event thrown by people for people. It is an act of hospitality, and the guest of honor is a god. To see the logic, remember where the god normally lives. In our first 2 episodes, we walked through the Torii Gate and washed at the purifying basin, the thresholds that mark a shrine as sacred ground. The kami, the divine presence, dwells deep inside the main hall, in an inner sanctuary most people never see, often behind closed doors even from the priests. For most of the year, the god stays home. The Matsuri is the rare occasion when the god comes out and is carried through the neighborhood it protects. That is what the portable shrine is for. It is called a makashi, the same character as the shrine itself, with an honorific prefix, so the word means, roughly, the honorable divine palanquin. Before the festival, in a quiet rite most spectators miss, a priest performs a transfer. The spirit of the kami is invited out of the great still shrine and into this small golden one that human beings can lift. From that moment, the makashi is not a decoration or a float. It is, for one day, the god's moving address. Kenji is not about to carry a heavy box. He is about to carry a deity. Look closely at the makashi and you will read the whole belief system in miniature. It is built like a tiny shrine, lacquered in black and blazing with gold. On its roof stands a golden phoenix, wings spread. Around its base hang the same twisted ropes and white paper streamers that mark the sacred everywhere in Japan. And it has no wheels. This matters. A float on wheels would simply roll. The makashi must be lifted, held up by human bodies, because the point is contact. The god is meant to be borne by the very community it watches over. When the moment comes, 40 people duck under the thick wooden beams at once. On a shouted count, they stand, and 2 tons of shrine rises off the ground. Kenji feels the beam bite into his shoulder, the weight impossible and shared. And then they begin to move and to chant, "Washoi, Washoi," a cry so old its exact meaning is debated, but which every bearer feels in the body. Heave, together, again. The crowd's phones go up. What they are filming is not celebration. It is labor, sacred labor. Now watch what the bearers do, and prepare to have your assumptions overturned. They do not carry the god smoothly and reverently, as you might expect. They heave the makashi violently up and down. They spin it. They crash it from side to side until it pitches like a boat in a storm. To a Western eye trained to treat the holy with quiet stillness, this looks like disrespect. It is the exact opposite. The wilder the ride, the better, because the shaking is not carelessness. It is the point. There is an old idea in Japanese folk religion that a god's power can be roused, even amplified, through violent motion. Shaking the makashi stirs up the kami's energy, the way you might shake a bottle to wake what is settled inside. That roused, overflowing power is then scattered across the streets, the shops, the onlookers, a blessing shaken loose over the whole neighborhood. So the chaos has a purpose. The bearers are not misbehaving with the god. They are working the god's power up and spreading it around. The route itself is not random. The makashi is carried on a deliberate circuit through the shrine's parish, the Ejiko, the community of households under this god's protection. It stops at an area set aside part way called the Otabisho, the resting place, where the god pauses on the journey. In effect, the deity is making house calls. inspecting its territory, visiting its people, and renewing, street by street, the bond between a place and the power that guards it. The neighborhood is not watching a parade pass by. It is being visited. This is where the food stalls and the fireworks find their place. They are real, and they are joyous, but they are the overflow, not the center. Think of it as a welcome feast for an honored guest. When a god comes down to walk among its people, the people respond the only way hospitality knows, with abundance, noise, light, and shared food. The grilled squid and the goldfish scooping and the shaved ice are not separate from the sacred day. They are the human half of the exchange, the party you throw because someone important has come to stay, just for a night. Multiply this across the country, and the scale is staggering. Japan holds an estimated 100,000 Matsuri a year, nearly one for every day, in every corner of the islands. Some are colossal. In Kyoto, the Gion Festival fills July with towering wheeled floats and crowds in the hundreds of thousands. Some are almost secret. A single elderly priest, a handful of villagers, a small shrine on a mountainside. But whether vast or tiny, the underlying grammar is the same. A god is welcomed, served, and seen home again. And some are frankly wild. At certain festivals, near-naked men in loincloths wrestle through freezing winter nights for a sacred object. At others, teams ride enormous logs down a steep mountainside at terrifying speed. There are festivals of fire, of mud, of crying babies, of laughing contests. Outsiders often file these under Weird Japan. But look again with what you now know. These are not stunts. They are intense, embodied ways of doing the same ancient thing, meeting the sacred not with folded hands, but with the whole straining, shouting, living body. There is one more thing the crowd rarely notices, and it may be the most important. By late afternoon, Kenji's shoulder is raw and purple, and he is grinning through the pain. Around him are people he would never otherwise meet. The old man who runs the tofu shop, a teenager on her first festival, a retired teacher, a truck driver. Under the beam, none of that matters. There is only the shared weight and the shared cry. The Matsuri does something a year of ordinary life cannot. It presses a neighborhood into a single body, if only for a day. As the sky darkens, the Makashi is carried back to the shrine. The bearers climb the stone steps one last time, and the priest performs the rite in reverse. The kami is invited out of the palanquin and back into the still inner hall, where it will live quietly until next year. The gold shrine becomes an empty vessel again. The lanterns are lowered. Kenji bows, straightens, and walks home through streets already returning to normal, carrying nothing now but an ache in his shoulder and the strange lightness of having, for one day, held something far larger than himself. So the next time you find yourself swept into a Japanese festival, the drums in your chest, the shrine pitching overhead, the smell of grilled food in the summer dark, you will know you have not stumbled into a street party. You have arrived on the one night a god walks the neighborhood and been handed, whether you knew it or not, a share of the welcome. If this changed how you will stand in that crowd, consider subscribing. This is Sacred Japan, a series about the meanings hiding inside the country's most familiar sights. Next time, a fox with a key in its mouth, 10,000 of them across Japan. Who the god Inari really is, and why the fox is not what tourists think. Until then, mind who might be visiting.